Why do people make marriage vows? Have you ever wondered where that comes from? Well, Rashid, that's just what people do when they are getting married. They go to the government, they sign the papers because they need to have permission from the government. That's why it's called a marriage license. Okay, so you need a permission from the government. Okay, then after the government agrees and you signed it, then you go to a church or you go to some other religious ceremony where you put the ring on his finger. Oh, where does the ring come from? Rashid, don't worry about that. No, 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 no. Where does the ring on the finger comes from? Okay, Rashid, it comes from Germanic tribes in ancient Europe. They had this custom that when a man kidnapped a woman, he would ask ransom for her, and after ransom would be that she would become his wife. Or when a man married to her in a peaceful manner, she had to carry a ring on her finger to show that she was his property. Oh, okay, okay, thank you. Continue. Okay, then after you put the ring on your finger, you kiss, well, before you kiss, you make the vows to promise to one another and the community you will stay with each other and all of that. And then you go home, you have your wedding night, and it's done. Oh, so it's a whole formula. Yes, Rashid, it's a formula. Where does this formula come from? You ask too many questions, Rashid. What's wrong with you? So a lot of folks react. No, I'm not doing difficult here. I'm just pointing out to you that there are many customs people hold dear that they don't question where they come from. That whole thing of a marriage license, it comes from Rome. When Emperor Augustus enforced the policy throughout the world that everyone had to allow Rome, the government, to regulate their marriages. Before that were families that regulated. So if Louisa had parents and the parents still alive, then the elders from that community would arrange that she would get involved with Patrick, which was from the same tribe or maybe from another tribe. And because the elders of both Patrick's community and Louisa's community know one another, they know how to make a match well, and that's how marriages were done. So the marriages were an extension and expression of the community. This whole idea of romantic love and finding the true one and falling in love did not exist. Those are all delusions came later on in human history. So when a lot of people think of marriage today, they think of a delusion. They have a package of delusion that they believe marriage is. And in churches, these delusions are taught to them. So when they are praying, they're praying in line with the delusion. And because those delusions are validated by society, also by unbelievers, they think that's marriage. But when the delusion doesn't work out well and will not work out well, now there is stress. Now you begin to ask what's going on. And in this stress, Satan comes with his deceptions to lead them completely away from Christ into the negative completely. Now, I don't intend to make this a marriage video, but I'm using marriage as an example now. Do you know the customs you're holding on to, where they come from, what they represent, why those customs exist? Do you know that? Or are you just complying to get validation and approval by society, thinking that then things will go smoothly for you? Now I have news for you. If you comply with the delusion just to get acceptance from society, you'll get your cheap acceptance, but the delusion will still be dysfunctional and you will be one reaping the dysfunction. And when you reap the dysfunction, those people in society will say, well, it was your choice anyway, right? So they expect you to validate this delusion that they hold dear, but when you comply with it and you get dysfunction, it's not their problem. So they only want things from you, but whenever you have issues, it's all you. And yet, many millions keep doing this. They keep aligning themselves with the delusions of society. Look, the Most High created male and female, right? And human sexuality is male energy in action. I explained all of that. And it's natural that the elders in the community regulate the relationships in the community, whether it's sexual relationships or just friendships or whatever, the elders regulate things in the community. because they are the supervisor of the community. What happened throughout history is that the role of the elders has been replaced with the government, with Caesar. And many folks just got along with it because they didn't know any better. That's not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. But I explained this years back already in a video, but I'm saying it one more time. The government's out there, the powers that be are out there, but you're a believer, you're in Christ, right? So who's your Lord? Christ is, not Apollo. So who's your Lord? Christ. Oh, okay. So if Christ is your Lord, you should rely on his guidance. But if you collide with society in the name of Christ, which is an abomination, if you do that, you're cursing yourself. So what to do? Rely on Christ. Let Christ work it out for you. And stop seeking approval from others all the time. Don't lock yourself up in avoidance either. Because that's another trap. A lot of people want to get away from society, so they lock themselves up and they become toxic. Don't do that either. You're in society, you're dealing with other people, also unbelievers, in a practical manner, but don't become unequally yoked with them. So also don't agree with their delusions. Well, that's it for now. Keep agreeing with Christ and be at peace.